Good evening, everybody. Let's try it again. Good evening, everybody. My name is Cheryl Miller-Dice, and I'm an Associate Professor of Education and serve as the Executive Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the Dr. Joe Watts Williams School of Education. I would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the Intercultural Learning Certificate Program, the ILCP. We gather here to celebrate Cohort 3, the third group of students in the Watts Williams School of Education's history to receive a certificate in intercultural learning. This is something to celebrate. The Intercultural Learning Certificate Program builds on existing and new courses, programs, and workshops within the university. The goal of the program is to enable students to identify, synthesize, and integrate academic coursework and co-curricular experiences to be active citizens who exercise skills and behaviors to effectively engage across differences. Students enroll in the ILCP in the fall of their sophomore year and must complete the program. In their sophomore year and must complete the program by the fall of their senior year before they begin student teaching in the spring. Over the 5 semesters that students are enrolled in the ILCP, they complete the IDI, the Intercultural Development Inventory, before the required orientation. After this, students complete 3 academic course reflections and attend and reflect on 11 co-curricular experiences, as well as complete an experiential reflection after 40 hours in the field. At the end of the program, students complete the IDI survey again, as well as prepare a capstone project chronicling their learning in the program. And as you can see, the posters were impressive. The defining component of the ILCP are 4 specifically designed modules to help students dig deeper below the surface of the iceberg. Learning is enhanced in each module by at least 5 written activities that students complete during the module. In addition, students are required to attend cohort debriefs after the completion of each module. Hence, at the end of the program, each student would have uploaded 15 reflections, as well as received feedback from ILCP staff on their reflections. Numerically speaking, the 56 students in Cohort 3 uploaded 840 reflections. Cohort 3, we celebrate you today. Again, welcome to our ILCP graduation ceremony. And at this time, I will call Allison Bryant, Director of the CRC, to the podium to introduce our ILCP student speaker. Allison.
Danny Toma Harold is a senior elementary education major with minors in African and African American studies and environmental education. While she is originally from Decatur, Georgia, she plans to stay in North Carolina to teach elementary students, hopefully 3rd graders. Danny is incredibly passionate about her research on the connections between anti-racism, abolitionist teaching, and place-based environmental education, or teaching and learning outside. Starting this study almost 2 years ago, she has since presented at 7 national and international conferences, hosted a 2-webinar series for a national garden support organization, created 2 workshops, one is this Saturday, 9 to 4 p.m., and is working on writing a manuscript of her findings. Outside of her classes, her 3rd grade student teaching placement and research, you can find Danny running around campus with Elon runs or crocheting whales and axolotls on the couch with her roommates. Lastly, she would like to thank her peers for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you, Allison. Good evening, everyone, and happy almost Halloween. I figured it might not be the best look for me to bring my witch hat up here with me that I wore yesterday, but it does match my outfit a little bit, and I do have my spider earrings on. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Danny Toma Harold, as Allison just said. And I want to thank all of you for nominating me to speak at the ILCP graduation ceremony. I think this is the first time that we have all been in the same place to talk about the ILCP, literally ever. And I want to say first and foremost that y'all's posters look great. I know some of y'all did it last minute, myself included, but take a moment to reflect on how much you've grown in your understanding of yourself, your students, your communities, and your society over the course of this program. We've written and uploaded countless reflections to TaskStream, attended various presentations and cultural events, and completed many activities that guided us to think more deeply about our identities, our experiences, and our privileges. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard work, as most identity work is. It requires us to acknowledge again and again that there's more work to be done and you have more to learn. Realizing that I had more to learn was a bit of an uphill battle. My sister would be the first to tell you that I am a little stubborn. You can imagine my shock when I received my Intercultural Development Inventory results, the IDI, and saw that I was right smack in the middle at minimization. Me, Danny, who literally is always talking and researching and experiencing race and racism and all of the other isms, I was only at minimization, an orientation that highlights cultural commonality and universal values and principles, but masks deeper recognition and appreciation of cultural differences. It was a reality check for sure. I went into this program thinking, it is for white people, this is about to be the biggest waste of my time. Thankfully, I was wrong. I assumed that my minoritized identity somehow innately blessed me with the ability to connect with my students and support students who are consistently overlooked and harmed because I knew what was up. I grew up with a plethora of Black teachers who centered us as little humans in the classroom from day one, who taught me that Black and brown was beautiful and that my knowledge mattered. And I mean, statistically speaking, teachers of color are more likely to implement culturally responsive pedagogies, likely due to their own experiences in education. But looking back, it was silly for me to believe that one piece of my identity would grant me all of the knowledge of the intricacies of systemic racism and answers of how to create a safe and brave space. The ILCP modules forced me to do the work and shift my mindset around what social justice means. Social justice is not an identity, it's not a personality trait, it's not even necessarily a destination. It's a process for wrestling with power dynamics to eventually achieve collective liberation and justice. I can't wake up one day after turning in my 10th reflection like, I did it, I'm done, I know how to be a social justice educator. No. It takes reading and reflecting again and again, and it takes action, proactive action, not reactions. When I was preparing to write the speech, I was thinking a lot about the work of Bettina Love, and if you know anything about my research, you know that I talk about her a lot, because she has some really cool things to say. She explains that we don't need any more allies. We need co-conspirators. Co-conspiracy is a verb, not a noun, she writes. It requires effort and movement. The internal work has to be done before the external work can occur. The ILCP was the internal work, and now it's time for the external work. This isn't designed to be easy. Identity and justice work is messy, uncomfortable, time-consuming, but necessary. The work we did in the ILCP is not the final destination, but a checkpoint. If you think that skipping through the activities and waiting until the last minute to do your reflections is all you have to do to say, yay, I'm an intercultural teacher, then you need to take a step back and pause, because the real work starts now. In the real world, there aren't going to be people to give you reflection questions to think about or structured progression of modules on systemic racism. It'll be you, your students, and their families. Of course, we'll have Elon Ed support at any time, but the final call is yours. This is not to say that the ILCP was perfect or it was perfect in preparing us, but it's a start. It's a taste of the amount of constant work that goes into being a justice-oriented teacher. This program is what you make it. You get out what you put in. Am I perfect? Of course not. I can't count how many mistakes I've made on my journey to become a justice-oriented intercultural teacher. It took me almost an entire year after my first event to even write a reflection on it. And because of that, I don't think I got what I could have out of that experience. But you need to be wary of how the lack of engagement and reflection can carry into the field, because it does. At my village tutoring placement last year, I was with a teacher who had some choice and borderline racist remarks about some of her Black and brown students. I met with a few professors to make action plans of how to talk to that teacher, and I ended up doing nothing. It didn't go anywhere, and I have to live with that. I have to learn from that. And I didn't do what I needed to do for those kids, and I let them down. But I won't anymore. I won't do that again. The whole point of these reflections and classes and experiences and goals are to internalize this information so you can be proactive in the classroom, so you can talk to that teacher or that admin. Halfway reflecting isn't gonna cut it anymore. Y'all need to take every opportunity to change your worldview and learn more about the kids and communities that you're working with. Because these kids, your students, deserve it. The equity gap is still growing and it is not slowing down. What are you prepared to and willing to do in the name of your students? How will you be co-conspirators? I want to leave you with that question. What are you willing to do for your students? They deserve a place to feel safe and important and included and loved. And it's up to you to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Those are such heartfelt remarks. Thank you so much. Give her another round of applause. So this is an exciting time for us in the ceremony. So as we call your names today, you'll receive a certificate of completion from me and a stole from Dean Bullock for your work in the ILCP. Your names will be called today by 3 of our ILCP program assistants, the folks who read your reflections. Ms. Itumelin Shadrach, counselor in the Counseling Center, Ms. Felicia Robinson, second grade teacher at East Lawn, and Ms. Allison Bryant, director of the CRC. All right, at this time, we'll begin the names.
Val Buford. Megan Brooks. I think we could do a little bit better than that, right? You all are finished, come on. Olivia Capitano. Kathleen Carmody. Kylie Clancy. Molly Cummings, Elizabeth Chenchek, Josie De La Oliva, Caroline Durham, Ruby Espitia, Grace Gallery, Timothy Geese, Maeve Gleason, Alexa Goldberg, Caitlin Gorgie, Christina Gutierrez, Emma Halleck, Adela Hahn.
Thank you so much. As people make their way back to their seats, let's have another round of applause for those three. Emily Hart. Julie Hoffmeister. Jackie Kluge. Noah Levinson. Carly Mandel. Hannah McCarthy. Maddie McDermott. Thank you. Lizzie McMillan. Kayla Mead. Amy Meager. Oh, excuse me, Amy Meager, I'm sorry. Andrew Meck. Faith Miner. Emily Pedron. Casey Paulus. Kelsey Pettit. Zoe Ray. Amanda Rip. And Amanda Rubio.
Caroline Sant. Abby Sarancino. Victoria Seymour. Maria Shep. Morgan Sierra. Miriam Skadron. Campbell Stenson. Isabel Stimson. Charlotte Stoddard. I think Megan Solinsky. I think she may have gone. Danny Toma Harold. Madison Trent. Matthew Trez. Claire Vaca. Alex Van Westernen. Madeline Volp.
Thank you very much.
Amanda Westel. Heidi Weston. Micah Wiltsey. Ellie Yarbrough. And Ella Zielinski.
All right, at this time, want to make sure that everybody has a certificate. We didn't miss anybody. Some folks are in classes. Okay, great, awesome. I now call Dean Bullock to the podium.
Thank you. So I have a question for you, and I need someone to answer it, if not more than one person, is why did we make you do this? Why did we make you go to all these things and do these modules? Who would like to answer that? Someone, you all have stoles now. Someone tell me why you think we made you do this. Go ahead.
So we are better prepared teachers that create our things equitably and our leaders in our previous.
Yes. Who would agree with that answer? Okay, very good. That is exactly right. And what is our mission? Who can tell what's in our mission? Yeah. It's on your stoles to be equity-minded educators, right? It's on your stoles. You've got it. Good, Grace. Thank you for that. Thank you for answering. So tonight, we celebrate what you've done to become more equity-minded. We know at this point you're emerging, that you have more to learn. We have more to learn. We are never finished on this journey. But one of the things I think you need to keep in mind is when you graduate from Elon and the Dr. Joe Watts Williams School of Education, that we prepare you, we're trying to prepare you to be an equity-minded educator, to think about every child or young adolescent in your classroom, the families, the community that you're in, and what you can do to make that a better place for everyone. Without Dr. Miller-Dice, this would not happen. Now, what we like to say at this point, I do, is Dr. Miller-Dice does not sit at home and think about what she can do to make you all do such things. This is a School of Education program. It is not the Dr. Miller-Dice program, even though she's our expert. So I think you ought to give her a round of applause. Exactly. She plays a vital role in our school to keep us all on track, to have us think about things from a DEI lens, and we hope that you will continue to do that as you move forward. We had some great results from your IDI post-test. I think some of you might be pleased at how you've moved on the continuum. We had one student move 51 points on the continuum. We had 83% of this class that moved quite well on the continuum, and that's our measure to say that we see you moving, right? But as Danny said, we have not arrived. So I just want to say, keep working, keep thinking, and do what you need to do to help the students in your classes. Congratulations again, and I will call up Dr. Miller-Dice.
All right, thank you, Dean Bullock. We're at the end of our celebration today, and I want to take time to say thank you. It takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a team, a collective, to operate a program like this. Creating a new program takes vision, and as such, I would like to thank Dr. Lambert, President Emeritus and Professor of Education, for his vision. About 8 years ago, Dr. Lambert met with staff of the Creed before a summer meeting with SGA and charged the staff of the Creed to create a program centered on intercultural competency and learning. Thank you, Dr. Lambert, he's here with us today, for your vision. Thank you. I would also like to thank Ms. Carla Fullwood. She was a director in the Creed at this time, who took the lead to help create the certificate with its original proposal. The program that you see today would have not been possible without the visionary leadership of Mr. Tyrone Jean, former director of the Creed and assistant dean. Ty was integral in creating the structure and modules. We started with 20 students, and we currently have 176 students in the ILCP. I want to thank our 4 program assistants and faculty support, again, Ms. Shadrack, Ms. Robinson, and Director Bryant and Destiny Carter. Both Felicia and Destiny are alums of our program, and they're currently teaching in local public schools. The ILCP is housed in the Dean's office, and the staff in that office are central to this program. So thanks to Celeste, I saw her somewhere around, who manages all our staff paperwork and HR protocols for this program, to Ms. Jennifer Strange and Lisa Lane for coordinating this event. Everything that you see here today, from banners, stoles, certificates, setup, Jennifer and Lisa coordinated all, so thank you. Department Chair Winter is not here with us today, but I would like to thank her for her support and for being an advocate for social justice and change. To Dean Bullock Your leadership in creating a space for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the School of Education is well noted. I would also like to thank 3 of the core faculty who are with us today, who require their classes to come and engage with us. Shireen, Matt, I saw Nina somewhere, and Bud. I saw Bud Warner. Thank you all for partnering with the School of Education and bringing your core 1,100 classes to celebrate with us and engage with the poster. Thank you. Our mission in the School of Education is to prepare equity-minded educators. This is not easy work. This work is nuanced and complex and tied to a sense of self. To my faculty colleagues, thank you for supporting and connecting the ILCP to your classes. Much appreciated. We are planting seeds in the Watts Williams School of Education with a hope in the unseen that they will germinate. Congratulations, Cohort 3, and thank you all for coming. Feel free to mingle and enjoy the refreshments. Thank you all.